Tareq, hi, Jim Delapine here. I see that you have a very creative thing going on here, but you have to contain your character within the 6 by 8 inch area. Actually, I can see right away that your file size is not correct. So, image size. It needs to. Well, it's close, but it's supposed to be 8 wide, 10 high. So that's easy enough to change, but I don't know how you got this. But let's just okay. I'm gonna type since it's so minimal. I'm gonna uncheck. So I typed in 8 for the width, and now this 10.09 increased proportionally. So I have to unconstrain the aspect ratio. So click on that, and it'll unlink these. So now they'll increase in size individually. So 8 by 10. Okay, and then hit OK. So it's really a minimal amount. Um, but it should be right, and that's how to do it. So, with regards to your character, though, let's see. I like what you did here. This is terrific. So, if I take Fred, I see that it's cropped. I don't know why, but it looks like you went select all. Oh, I think I told you that you were the student who had a very large file. So by cropping this, you cropped out the pixels that go beyond, so you can't simply reduce it because this character has to be contained within the 6 by 8 inch area. So what you would need to do is, let me see here, how to select all of the characters with the exception of the background. So let's see the shadow. All right, I'll keep that there. So let me just hide everything here. So I'm going to select. I don't know why the shadow is an adjustment is a clipping mask. That shouldn't be. So let me unclip that. Wait, let me undo that. 1 second. Yeah, okay. So I'll select the shadow layer and then scroll to the top and shift click that layer. Now, I have to deselect some of these layers, and that would be the text probably. It's hard to see where they are. I think, yeah, here it is. So I'm going to control click on the layers I don't want to scale. All right, so now let me just move this. Okay, so there's a background. Yeah, this I don't want to. Okay, the gradient fill. I'm gonna deselect that. And now, okay, so now I have my entire character. So undo that. But now, when I go to reduce this, Control T. So I showed you how I selected everything and deselected the files that I didn't want to reduce. And now I'm going to go to any corner bounding box and click drag in, hold down shift to constrain and alt to scale into the center point. So this is what you do here. All right, so I would say something like this would be fine. I'm guessing now at the 6 by 8, but it should be contained within the 6 by 8 inch area. So that would be, let's see here. I'll bring this over to 1. And I mean, roughly. Yours was actually bleeding off the edge, which you don't want. So come here and down here. So it's roughly so. So something like that. See that's close enough. All right. So now once he's in position, now what you do is bring in the fork. See this fork was cropped off because it's cropped. So you don't want that to happen. So this fork here simply needs to be replaced. That's all. Just bring in a new fork. Okay. This way you'll have the whole thing, and put that back into position, and then you're good to go. So I would also redo Fred so that he's not cropped off, but bring him in further so you can see the whole, all of the text. Flipping food Fred. I mean, you got some creative stuff going on here. I really got to tell you, you've been working with this. So I'm selecting flipping and hitting Control T so I can rotate this. As I rotate, I'm going to hold, when I get down to the near horizontal position, I'm going to hold down the Shift key. Now we'll lock it in. Okay. And this way I know it's horizontal. Then I'll just click it straight over. I don't know, here. All right. Yeah, I mean, all of the text does not have to be seen up here. But let's see. We got. It's a different case for different scenarios here. So let me just lock that in. I don't know. You could possibly scale this up. Yeah, in this case, I mean, you really can't read it, so I don't know. Um, but you know what? The learning is there, so that's really what counts. But I mean, you cannot read that this is flipping food. But what you could possibly do, let's see here. I wonder if this was brought above. Oh, you know what? You did some experimentation with blending modes, which is terrific. So let's see how it works out by dragging this above everything. You could find an interesting result. So yeah, you could do something like that because you can still see the character behind there. That's interesting. You know what? I just want you to go and experiment. You're good at it, but this should be somewhat red. I mean, you may even want to bring this up above everything too. I don't know where this will, something like that. Well, I don't know. I don't know. So what I see here is that you saved a selection as a channel and renamed it, but what I don't see is any adjustment layers. All right. So remember, it's not the image that I want to be clipped. It's the adjustment layers which are here. So what you need to do is go in and select. Let's see these cookies here. That's Let's go to this cookie here. And I see that they're linked to. You must have some previous experience with Photoshop because this is pretty advanced. So I'll select this cookie though, and I'm going to create a levels adjustment layer. Okay, and that will increase the contrast. So levels is right here. All right. So what we have is an adjustment layer now that is above the cookie. Okay. So if I make an adjustment to the adjustment layer here in the histogram, so this represents highlights, shadows, and midtones. So actually this is not, well, let's just drag this in and note what happens here. The entire document is changed because it's not a clipping mask. An adjustment layer will affect all of these underlying layers, okay? You don't want that. You want it to affect only the cookie. So you need to make this a clipping mask by right-clicking and selecting clipping mask. Where is it? Create clipping mask right here, or the shortcut, which is alt-clicking between the layers right here. Okay, so now you can see that you have the cookie, only. So you actually want to go in, and it's a little bit too dark, so uh, fool around and just get a better. See how it looks less smoky? There's more contrast in there. This is probably not the best example, but most of your images look pretty good, But you can. All you have to do is one, and you don't even have to change the setting, and you get credit. But I want to see that there is an adjustment layer that is a clipping mask, and you can tell it's a clipping mask by this downward facing arrow. All right, man. I hope that helped. Okay, take care. Bye.